Some of these videos we've been watching of the incident has in fact being produced by AI. So remember, our spiritual eye is what we go off of. Trust no man, no woman. Only trust thyself, right? So you have to know he's being held in bondage. You look at this body, he's curled up in a fetal position. This will be his like bum here, like he's sitting on his legs. Remember, I said his feet was being locked down by some sort of force or entity. He's still showing up the same. 5 days after passing, he's still showing up with his feet being anchored here. But now, if you look, he looks like he's being held hostage. Look at the posture of this. Something around the neck, very much like the dog. The blood is rushing up to the brain. This part is being separated from his body, almost as if they're about to cut here. But look, he's definitely in a position of not of power, but of mercy. That's the first message you have to know, that this this was done on purpose, absolutely. And it was done by the, like I said before, by the very people who he trusted, because he was getting too close to the real. See, they were okay when he was sitting here talking about women and talking about other people, black people, immigrants. They were fine with that because it kept us fighting. So what Charlie, as smart as Charlie is and was, but still is, he didn't understand he was being used. The reason why they let you keep talking and showing up to these events is because they were using you for the great distraction and the great divide. If we're divided here, then we certainly ain't looking up to Israel or to our governments to see what they're doing. But when he got too close to the truth to crumble the lie, then they had to stop the game of checkers that he was playing alongside of their game of chess. They were like, oh, look how cute. He's playing a little game. Let's keep him in that sandbox and keep the youth divided. Keep the youth and keep all these different races divided while we over here play a big man's game. And so he started to catch on intuitively. He didn't know, but this is what his work had led him to. And this is why he's in bondage. And this is why he had that dog, thing on his neck, separating consciousness from body. Now, get this. Then after that, I saw an image of a dog. Mind you, I've been seeing dogs this whole time. And the dog looked at me in this like image. I'm just seeing it right before my eyes. The dog looked at me. At first it was like a brown dog, but then it turned into a black dog. And then this was very important. He looked at me straight with his eyes, and he looked directly into me. This was not the eyes of a dog I was seeing. This was the eyes of a human, because energy just ain't never lied. Energetically, it was a energy of a human. It was the energy of Charlie. That is what I saw and what I felt and what I know. So that's what I have so far. Now, the question now we would say, is his consciousness inside of a dog? I'm not saying that per se, but what I'm saying is they handled him possibly like a dog. But we can't also rule out that they did not extract consciousness to put into something else, because remember, guys, zone out. Their world is over. The new world, we've already won it. This thing is slated to go. Our new world. So they're trying to, in alignment with our new earth and our new world, in our new energy field, they're trying to build their false new world on top of ours. They've always known that this time would come. And what they're hoping is that, just like an entity, what they can do is to link into our new energy field and to catch a ride, so that they cast their illusionary shadows on top of us once again. Not on my watch, baby. Not on my watch. This is what is going on. You have to know that. They keep us divided. So here's the thing. Then I saw an image of a funeral. And to be honest with you, whose funeral was it? It was Trump's funeral. I'm telling you, Charlie was synced into his energy field. And I'm starting to think, oh boy, don't start to think, T. Don't start to psychic investigate. Don't. Because what I'm about to say, it gets dark. I'm starting to think that maybe Charlie just wasn't showing I can play the game too. Look at me, pick me, pick me. Look how good I am at this young age. Maybe he wasn't just linked into his energy field as a fan. I'm starting to think it's much more sinister than that. I'm starting to get the vibe that he was linked in to the energy field through quantum manipulation. Trump has always had, there's always been different versions of Trump, always. You can listen back to some of these like activists back in the 80s. They will always tell you that Trump has always, back then, he had at least like three of him. I think there's more. I think there's more now. I think there's at least four. So here's the thing. What I'm saying of what I see every single time I'm trying to tap into Charlie's energy. Trump is always there. I'm talking about these two fields could not be closer. It's given the vibe that they use Sir, I'm going to call him Sir Charlie. I don't know why. Sir Charlie to be a energetic, what do you call it? A energetic bulletproof vest for Trump. And I know that sounds crazy, but energy don't lie. It has not yet. And could it be possible that Charlie was just so enamored by Trump that he unintentionally moved into his field and now it's kind of co-mingled through quantum entanglement? Yes, that is possible, and we can't rule that out. But it feels deeper. It feels that he was almost becoming Trump's energetic, like, shield. Like they were using him. He's a pawn to like shield Trump from certain things because Charlie was able to say certain things that I think that the Trump supporters wanted to hear. Because remember, Donald Trump was really good at inciting people, the people that would allow him to allow him to stay in the office. It wasn't. I do not believe that Trump believes all these things that he says, but Trump is smart. Trump plays on the weakness of people. He's a businessman. Businessmen are con men. You have to know that. You have to know that. It's time to wake up. So he uses people to now incite certain things, throw out certain bombs, and they will just unravel all of this for him. And what it does, it propels him higher. So he plays on people like that. Like I said, these are two brothers fighting. We go back to the template of Esau and Jacob. It's the same thing playing out. This is what we have. But now what we're looking into is the Esau energy would be the one brother. The Esau is fighting within himself. Charlie spent a lot of time talking about black on black crime and all of this stuff, which typically does not affect in high percentages the white community. A lot of black on black crime is committed black on black crime against other black people, black on black, right? But what's happening is his own house was literally being burnt down to the ground. So what I'm saying is I'm in the Jacob and Esau template. Yes, Jacob and Esau are fighting, still fighting in the womb. However, what we are experiencing in this moment of reflection is Esau fighting within himself. within his mind. And I think Charlie held some very deep templates into the Esau bloodline. And that's why Charlie, ooh, I'm channeling y'all, is all about the mental plane because he always held these codes of Esau. And Esau, right now, was always going to come to a point in time where it would do a check within itself. And this is what we are experiencing. And I think that we can see it, especially in the youth. I think that a lot of people are checking within themselves and seeing, I don't maybe necessarily think that some of the things my ancestors did was right. This is what we are getting. Esau is having a come to Jesus moment, so to speak, within its own consciousness. And as Esau comes into awareness of itself, right? It's saying there are some things in here that I don't like that I've done to myself, that I've said to myself, or I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bad habits that I have. And this is why I said two sides of the elites are fighting, because it's a tug of war within the one mind of Esau, half of the coin, right? But peep this, through this cleansing, this is what's going to bring the two brothers into harmony in the womb. So essentially, we can look at Jacob and Esau like white or black. And within that, we have all of the codes, right, of the other nations that we need. So what we are experiencing, believe it or not, this is one way we come back into wholeness within the one big Akashic soul body that we all share. But until we clear out the closet, until we clear out the lower third, the things that have polluted our world, we can't actually get there. And what we're seeing with Charlie and Trump and Israel and all of the rest is Esau fighting within itself. And I believe that Esau will choose the greater part of itself. Because remember, the lower third, energetically, through this karmic portal we're in, the lower third is going away simply because the karma is coming. Do you guys notice how karma comes quick and swift now? When Charlie was shot, he was literally, someone asked him a question, what percentage of, talking about gun violence, and he said, are we talking about, what did he say? He said, are we talking about just gun violence or gang violence included? Talking about, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm in quantum speed here. And literally, right when he said that, he got shot. So when I use karma, I'm not using it as a bad thing. You guys got to stop thinking it's a bad thing. Karma is the only way we can get rid of the lower third and the stagnation within our soul. There isn't any way to do that unless we come head to head with what it is that we said and felt and lived. We come head to head with it. And then we get to experience what the polarity of it, both sides. And then we can now use that energy for transcendence. That's all that karma helps us do. But people always laugh at people. Oh, you getting karma? No, karma is actually good because it helps you see yourself in the mirror. If you can never see yourself, you can never actually heal. Okay? So that is what happened. It was an instant karmic moment that was happening. But it was to show us too, guys, listen. See, these elites have given us a key code because this, so to speak, false shooter, that ain't the real shooter. I got the name of the person who actually is involved, and I will tell you in a moment. But this false shooter was supposed to be MAGA and all of that. They're trying to tell you that both sides of the coin are dirty. Because remember, Charlie spent a lot of time talking about the left. And even after his passing, people were online talking about the left did this. They even threatened black colleges, even though he was in Utah. There ain't even really no black people in Utah unless I move there. But I'm just saying that literally they blamed everyone else, but they could never foresee and see themselves in the mirror. That's why they picked this dude and said it's a plot twist because you were expecting for it to be someone on the left. But they chose an avatar of someone on the right because they are showing you that Esau is looking in the mirror at its reflection. This is what it is. None of this stuff is real, guys. All of it is to point you to your expansion. All of it is to point you to the codes of the game of the Matrix. That is what all of this is. And within the Epstein files, it's just the cast members of this stage play that we're in. And Charlie was about to out the cast members. He was getting too close to goal. Like him or hate him, he was getting too close when he started tapping on that and tapping. He was even start to tap on the Israel lie. You can't make it up. And he starts to question, why do we give them all this funding? What did I say? That they will pull out of the Israel lie. This is what he was tapping into.